Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Hugo Correa. This channel is about construction and helping you to do your own projects and stuff like that. So in this case, I want to guide you through the third part of this project that I was doing, which is the application of the grout. And what you see in a really fast mode over here is the steps that we took to be able to cover all these floors with a nice 8 by 48 tiles or planks. So you have to go through a step of making sure that everything is nice and clean and organized, and the duration of your grout obviously is going to be based in how good is the way you apply or you install your tiles. So we went ahead and covered everything. And about this topic, I actually go through in two different videos that I have, so I encourage you to take a look at them. And I'm gonna leave also on the suggested videos. I'm gonna leave you some of those videos too. So once you have all your tiles installed and you know that they are nice and dry, and that means that you need to let it dry for about a day or so, you want to go ahead and start thinking about the grout. In this case, because we're working on the floor and I have some gaps on the edges of the area, we have this type of grout, and this grout is sanded, and you can actually use unsanded grout sometimes, but in the floors I like to use that one, and in this case we're using this one called frost. So the idea is that you can mix that with water, or better off with this type of additive. So this additive is some sort of acrylic, and what it does is that it will replace the water and will help you to avoid stains and the proliferation of mold and all these things. So it's really good. The only downside about this type of material is that you need to work really quick, especially if you want to make sure that is removed from the tile. So to prepare the surface, you want to go ahead and remove all the excess mortar that you have between the gaps, right? So for that, you want to make sure that you use something really thin, considering the spaces that I'm leaving here, which is pretty much one against each other, like it's about 16 of an inch of a space. So for that, you want to go ahead and clean everything really well. Materials that you're going to use over here, and the tools are a mixer, obviously a drill, grout applicators, spatula, sponges, knives, and obviously clean water. Make sure that you have a lot of buckets, so you can actually have constantly changing, somebody helping you change the water, because it will be too much. So start by just removing all that excess mortar that you have around, and just go over them. The reason is that when you start putting the grout, and if you don't do this, what happens is that dark stuff is going to show up, and then it's going to ruin the look of your grout. In this case, because we're using something really light, we want to go ahead and do that. So how you do this, this in this case, this quantity of additive is designed for 25 pounds of grout, but because the gaps are so small, I'm just using about half of the bag and half of the acrylic booster or acrylic solution. So you want to go ahead and mix this for about 2 minutes. I would say like a minute and a half, because it's not too much. But one important thing after you do that stuff is that you let it set for about 10 minutes or so, and then go back again and move it again, so all the mixture is uniform, and it won't have like some sort of dry little bubbles around, and then will ruin your application. So in this case, because we have the rooms that are fairly big, I'm working in half of the room first, and then I move to the other half of the room. So I'm just gonna go in ways that I can apply the material in an easy way. And if you notice now, when I mix it, I want to make sure that it's a little loose. It's not completely runny, but it's a little loose, because as you apply it on top of the big planks, actually the floor will absorb some of the moisture that is on the mixture, and they start, the material itself, the mixture start getting dry fairly quick. So you want to make sure that is not completely hard, or it's not a hard solution. You can see here that as I move some portions of that start getting really dry. So you want to make sure that you mix your grout really well, and that is a little runny, so it's not that hard. If you're working with bigger spaces, if your tile design will call for that, then go ahead and do it a little harder, because that will be good for the gaps that you leave in between the joints, but in this case I'm using the drier grout mixture on the edges, because the edges, there's some molding that is going to be installed on the edges, so that will help to just kind of fill all those gaps. Although I just left like a 3/16 of an inch, maybe a 1/4 inch in some areas, really small gaps between the walls and stuff. So but still, you want to go ahead and do that, and if it's too dry, you just put it back in the bucket and mix it. So because we are fairly fast applying the grout, you want to go ahead and let it dry for about 20 minutes in this case. Don't let it dry too much, because especially this type of tile that have some sort of like wood grain will store a lot of your grout, and it will be a really painful thing for you to take it out. And for that, you may need to use like sponges that have like one side is nice and smooth, and the other one has some sort of a material or a little rougher material to be able to remove the excess. This video is not actually showing all the pain that I went through cleaning this stuff. I mean, I like to be honest with you guys, and it may look like it's easy, but because we have the little wood grain type of how can I say, pattern there, it is difficult. So you need to go ahead and clean and make sure that everything is nice, and and just remove that stuff. As you move along, you will find the little areas that have a little bit of that grout, so you want to go ahead and clean it up with that, or maybe like a dish washing sponge. That will help you a lot as well. But that's how you do it. So I hope this video will help you to understand how to make your own project. This is one of 3 videos that I made on the process. Thank you again, and if you have any questions and comments, please leave it over there. I'll be happy to help as much as possible. So enjoy your project. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you want to see a lot more content and you want to follow my channel, please subscribe here, and why not to see this or that video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.